Hello, this is Amritan Sharora with ThePrint. We are here at the 17th edition of the Jaipur Literature Festival, and with me is Justice Madan Lokur, former judge of the Supreme Court of India. Hello, sir. Sir, you served on the top court for 6 years, and during that time, your bench was also referred to as the social justice bench. In that vein, do you think India needs a nationwide caste census, and if yes, why?
Well, frankly, I've not given it much of a thought, about a caste census. But yes, we do need social justice, whether it's based on caste or anything else. We do need social justice.
Sir, you have been very vocal in your criticism of the Supreme Court's ruling on the pleas challenging the abrogation of Article 370. To add to that, in your opinion, what can courts, not just the Supreme Court or other high courts, but also local courts in Kashmir do to inspire confidence in people in the valley?
From what I've read in newspapers and magazines, one of the problems that is facing the people in Kashmir are detentions, all right, under the PSA, Public Safety Act. I was told that there are more than 1,000 such detentions. I think the courts need to look into issues of personal liberty. And if there are a large number of cases under the PSA that are pending, I think the courts must expedite them. Justice delivery all over the country is slow. And I don't think it is very much different in Kashmir. So expeditious justice, I think, is absolutely necessary.
So my next question to you is, what is your reading of the 3 new criminal laws? And a word of caution, if any, to the authorities or agencies that will be tasked with enforcing it.
You see, so far as the 3 new laws are concerned, one of them is the Evidence Act, which would also be applicable to civil laws. But so far as the 3 new laws are concerned, I think they should have been debated and discussed much more widely. Right? There are so many changes that seem to have been brought about, and there are so many sections of the earlier laws which have been retained. We need to discuss all that. Now, I have read that police are undergoing some kind of training. Why is it that the police could not have been given training under the existing laws? All right. And if the police are to be given training in the implementation of the new laws, I think everybody else also needs to be given training. For example, lawyers, judges. So really, to implement these laws quickly is going to be a big challenge. How different they are from the earlier set of laws is difficult to say, because some of the sections have been repeated and there are some new sections. So really, it's a very big discussion, that you're wanting me to get into. But we certainly need to have detailed discussions on these laws.
So, as we've seen lately, there have been arrests of senior opposition leaders, including a chief minister, as recently we've seen. You were, during your time on the top court, you had said actually, this is after your time in the Supreme Court. This is November last year. You had made a statement at a press conference when asked about the arrest of a Delhi minister and the delay in him being able to secure bail. You had said that this is a new trend, that a person is arrested first and then serious investigation is started. We're seeing that sort of pattern emerge nowadays. In your opinion, do you think this will go a great way in corroding public trust in institutions? And how can the integrity of these institutions be preserved?
You see, the idea behind the Criminal Procedure Code as it exists is that investigations should be completed within 24 hours. That's why a person is required to be produced in court within 24 hours of arrest. All right? Now, if you can't complete the investigation in 24 hours, complete it within a reasonable period of time. And the law gives 60 days for you to complete investigation and file a charge sheet. Now what is happening is that investigations are taking very, very long. All right. And what the prosecution is doing is they are filing what might be called an incomplete charge sheet, and later on file a supplementary charge sheet, which means investigations go on and on and on, which also means that the person who is accused of an offense is kept in jail, okay, for that period of time. So personal liberty, is being corroded in that sense. So we need to expedite investigations, and it's only after some crime is made out or some offense is made out that a person should be arrested. Not that you arrest a person and then say, all right, we are investigating crime A, crime B, crime C. So I think the process needs to be reversed.
So my next question to you is, we've seen that the Parliament has passed a law now to exclude the Chief Justice of India from the process of the selection of the Chief Election Commissioner. In your opinion, will this new law undermine the credibility or the autonomy of the Election Commission? And if yes, what must the government do to reassure voters that the electoral process will be kept sacrosanct?
You see, when the issue about the Election Commission was being discussed in the Constituent Assembly, every member of Parliament, every member of the Constituent Assembly at that point of time felt that the executive should not be involved in elections. All right. So therefore, the Election Commission should be a completely independent body away from the executive influence. Now, unfortunately, because the debate was taking some time, it was decided that, all right, let a law be passed in this regard, and we can proceed with the rest of the provisions of the Constitution. Now, that law was not passed, and the Chief Election Commissioner was being selected by the executive right from the very beginning. But now, when a law has been passed, the law does not take into account the sentiments of the members of the Constituent Assembly, namely that the executive influence should not be there. So far as the present law is concerned, it goes against the spirit and against the views of the members of the Constituent Assembly. Because now the selection of the election commissioners is done entirely by the executive. Which is, against the spirit of the views of the Constituent Assembly. What can the government do about it? Well, the government can have a relook at the law and relook at the debate in the Constituent Assembly and come out with a new law.
So before we wrap up, I have some very brief questions for you. Your favorite musician?
My favorite musician? Okay. No, I've not given it a thought. No.
Any particular genre you like listening to?
Yeah, I like listening to rock and roll. Yeah.
Elvis Presley or the Beatles?
Elvis Presley, yes. Yes, Elvis Presley and the Beatles. Yeah.
How do you unwind after a long day at work?
How do I unwind? I read something light or I listen to music. That's how I unwind. Yeah.
So last question, 3 books that you would like to recommend to young Indians who would want a better view or understanding of legal processes and systems, not just in India but around the world.
Yeah, well, there are a very large number of books that are now available, and I'm glad that people are writing articles also, not only books. So really, I don't think I would like to say that these 3 books should be read, because they're a very large number, and I think all of them should deserve to be read, including biographies and autobiographies.
Thank you so much for taking out the time to speak with us, sir.
Thank you.